Well, maybe just to start things off as a question, I think one thing I do want to settle in my lifetime, and I hope to settle it this evening in the next few minutes, is what on earth is going on when it comes to the top of Antonio Conte and his head. What's going on there? Is that a toupee? Is that a transplant? Is that natural? What's going on? Is it a miracle?
He's had a transplant. He's got to have had a
You
transplant.
don't think it's one of those really good glue down and he gets it done?
If you glue something down, you have it a bit more formal than how he has his hair. Surely.
Some say they took the hair from his chest.
As long as it's his chest and nowhere else. I mean, there's no everywhere else is a little bit dangerous.
If that's his chest hair, then wow.
The rest of it must be silk.
It's a bit wig, maybe. That sort of maybe
a toupee
wig thingy. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he's had a.
I'm going to have a look. Let me put up a picture of Antonio.
It doesn't look very natural, though, right?
It just looks long to me. I mean, it looks very.
It looks very soft.
Yes, it does look very soft. But he probably washes it every day. He probably looks after it because of how his past has been.
It looks like he has gone through a few different lengths as well, which is really interesting. I'm just scrolling through a few photos, and back in his Chelsea days, he could tuck it behind his ears, but in this Tottenham photo here, it's fairly short on the front. So he's going for different lengths. So it makes me think
he's having haircuts.
He's having haircuts, yeah. But where's the hair come from?
Oh, different wigs, mate.
I reckon he's had a hair transplant.
Did you see the state of his hairline before?
Yes.
What hairline?
Exactly. I mean.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
It's not good.
I think he's just living his best life. He's back in Italy. Imagine getting paid to just be at home. Get your gallbladder sorted.
He's certainly not coming back, is he?
Would you?
No.
No, nor would I.
I think he's an Italian. I think he just loves Italy. Yeah. Like the food, But, maybe we should just move into the podcast because I will bring up Tottenham in a minute, I'm sure. So maybe we should just cruise on by. What do you say, Sento?
Should we bring up Chelsea first?
That is on the agenda, yeah. Sento, what are you saying?
Just about Spurs. What am I saying about what?
Just what's going on? What's going on with your life?
Well, I mean, pretty much my entire week has been focused on this expected move in the future, house move. Like you have, not long ago. You moved house, now it's my turn.
I thought you moved long ago, though.
Yeah, what?
I thought you moved into where you are now not too long ago.
Yeah. But this is rented out. Like we sold our house, and then we rented this out because our idea was to actually buy a plot of land and build a house, however we want it, with the money from selling the other one. But the thing is that market was completely crazy, and it's still quite crazy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know it well because you were looking for a house yourself. Yeah. So yeah, we rented this meanwhile because also obviously building takes a while. We have to live somewhere. Yeah.
I got a tent.
Yeah, a little tent by the beach. Yeah.
Got a 2-man tent.
So yeah, So we've been on that, mate. Looking at a lot of plots, visiting with them, talking with the architect, blah blah. See if it's in our budget or not. All that. But yeah, right now we're quite excited with one that has really good views, which you've seen. I think I said it a week ago, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, the views. Yeah.
Yeah, the views. Really nice views of the sea, innit? That's the best. It's the best plot we visited with the best. I mean, the plot with the best views we visited, and one of the cheapest. What?
Football pitch in the back garden. Couple of seats.
No, mate. No football pitch. Not in that one, mate. I've just seen too steep, mate. It's too steep. It's like in the mountain, mate.
There you go. You know which side's the home side. Home side at the top.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, good idea, mate. Good
goal
idea.
kick, and it's an own goal.
Yes, that's a great idea, actually. What about you? How was your week?
I'm finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, busy week, you know. 4-week-old baby, getting chubby, grunting,
Getting chubby.
living life. You know what I'm sort of excited about, and I'm not sure if Sento sort of appreciates this because, you know, living in a very privileged lifestyle in Valencia. I'm very, very excited about the weather starting to sun come out, lovely days. It's just a little bit chilly at the moment, but you know, as soon as that,
I'm
soon
gonna
as
appreciate it because right now it's the complete opposite for us. -1, -2 temperatures
Oh,
where I
really?
live. Yeah. Every night, wake up in the mornings like 1 degree, something of the sort. Yeah, it's getting pretty chilly. Like there's actually a big like winter storm around here, and even in the Balearic Islands, you know, like Mallorca, Ibiza, and all that.
yeah.
They're getting snow, mate. Fucking little islands getting snow in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea.
In your new house, you can create a ski slope.
Yes. I can just rent it out to people who want to ski.
No, but I mean, it's starting to get nicer weather. You know, we're coming to the end of winter. We're coming into spring. It's going to be magnificent.
I can't really
Yes.
imagine it. I can't really imagine what the warm weather's going to feel like still, because it is still a bit chilly. You know, you're right. The sun was out today, and you can tell the light has changed, isn't it? Like when it gets this time of year, the sort of the color of the sunshine changes, isn't it?
But it feels like it's been a very long winter.
Yeah, it does.
We've had a World Cup. Yeah. We've had a World Cup in the winter.
Very long.
That's what made it long.
Yeah, true. And painful.
Yeah, very painful.
Yeah. Definitely. What about you, George? How was your week?
Monday. Yeah, spent Monday was basically waiting to hear back from a job interview from last week. But actually, I won't count on Sunday. I won't go beyond Monday because I'm sure we're going to touch on that. But basically, on the result of the weekend, I went into this week feeling like I had to take a win of some sort. So I was sat there Monday waiting to hear back from a job interview I had last week. That came out a bit quick. I apologise. So I sat at home on Monday waiting to hear back from a job interview that I had last week. And yeah, I basically waited all day just to get an email at about 7 o'clock to say that I had a second job interview on Tuesday, which I was, I didn't expect, but whatever. We'll have it. We'll take it. So Tuesday, did the second interview. I thought I basically showed up, gave a good performance in the middle of the park, some good passes, some good through balls, a few balls over the top. A long range effort was good.
Stayed in technical box.
Yeah. And found out basically they did say to me at the end of the interview that you'll probably find out that later this evening or tomorrow morning. So I'd left the interview and thought I can't be asked to check my emails consistently for the next few hours, so I'm just going to leave it. I'll check it tomorrow morning. Anyway, fast forward another day, found out that they emailed me pretty much straight after the second interview saying I had a job offer. So I basically tormented myself for about 17 hours for no reason, debating whether I had it or not. But I got the job, so excited about that. Obviously, I'm the artist for PixelPlayers, and I do thoroughly enjoy pixel art, but I also do like a bit of architecture, and be ashamed to not go the full hog and become qualified, seeing as I've done about 7 years already. So it's all part of the plan. You can never take a love of football away from a man, so don't worry about PixelPlayers. But it's been a good week. So hoping the football this weekend can follow suit, because honestly, I don't think I can stomach another loss.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, on top of both of our weeks, me and George, Tottenham and Chelsea fans. Not both, for clarity. I'm Tottenham, George is Chelsea.
And by the way, note down that he said it with a face like, I'll never mix myself with them Chelsea folk. Yeah.
We attended the Tottenham Hotspur versus Chelsea at the Tottenham Hotspur Football Stadium at 1:30 on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah.
How was that?
Magnificent.
How was that?
Magnificent.
Probably very different opinions.
George had to join us in the Tottenham end. Could
Yeah.
only source those tickets.
Behind enemy
to
lines.
enhance the experience, mate. Just to enhance the experience.
Behind enemy lines. He had to sit in a seat by himself, to be fair.
Yeah. I firmed that decision, and I think it went down well. I was sat next to a Heung-min Son fan to my left, and I had an empty seat to my right with a French man on the other side of that empty seat to my right. So I feel like I got away quite lightly.
What if you were in a midst of sea of ultras?
Then I think I'd be a bit
They
worried.
are
Now,
the ultras, mate. Don't believe that they're not the ultras. Don't be deceived.
there was quite a mouthy
true.
man
That's
on my
true.
row, about 10 seats to the right.
10
Wait,
seats to the right. So how
yeah.
many people were you controlling, me?
No, I mean, I
Looking
wasn't
for
looking.
threats
I
left
just
and right.
kept hearing swear words and expletives
Okay.
at certain players coming from that direction. And obviously a few chants that he was singing about 10 levels higher than anyone else.
Oh, that would be me then.
Slightly magnificent about that. You know?
Yes.
But one last thing on that front. There's a moment in the last 10 minutes when Spurs were 2-0 up, so the game was gone. I mean, if anyone watched the Chelsea-Tottenham game, you'll realise how toothless Chelsea were. So as soon as it went 2-0, you knew it was game over. And there was a woman in front of me, just as the Spurs fans had their go at chanting that song that goes, Chelsea get battered everywhere they go, Chelsea get battered everywhere they go, everywhere they go. That one.
Chelsea get battered everywhere they go. Chelsea get battered.
Which is a song that's been sung about Arsenal and
every club sings it.
Typical Spurs. But I think the woman in front was very happy because I saw her write out a text on WhatsApp, and it said, "Finally, we get to chant this chant," and she sent a video of them chanting the song, which I personally took as a little. It's the little win. You got to take the little wins, mate.
It does. I mean, it's actually a compliment for you, mate.
Yeah, it is a compliment.
Sorry, it is.
Yeah, she paid us a very big compliment by saying that, so I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, but maybe we should segue into the. Did you say how old?
Good weekend. No. Oh well, I said. Oh well.
Oh.
That was a good weekend, nevertheless, for both of you. I mean, you both enjoyed footy and all that.
Well, do you know?
Thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah, and I also came away from it thinking, you know what, I'm glad that it wasn't a 0-0 and we both came away a bit like, Do you know what I mean? It's better one of us comes away happy than both go away feeling a bit like, fucking 0-0. Do you know what I mean? So
very selfless, Chief.
Yeah, got to be, ain't you, in this world. Anyway, welcome to episode 18. Episode 18. We're getting towards the big 2-0, which is going to be quite significant for Sento. But yeah, welcome to PixelPlayers Podcast, episode 18. Pleasure to see you all here. I am George, or at FeathanoverBall on Twitter.
And I am Sento, or at ratpinat_ on Twitter.
And I am Sam, or at Skipper Talk on Twitter.
And if you could please like, comment, and subscribe, that would help us out massively. And we are obviously attached to the PixelPlayers project, which is we're probably most prominent on Twitter. We post all sorts of things from football updates, football fixtures, fun facts, legend quotes, all sort of anchored by our wonderful pixel art. So give it a follow. And also we've got a Spanish correspondent here in Sento, and he drops the odd Spanish translation on at pixelplayers_es. Maybe say that in Spanish, Sento, just in case.
The entire phrase, mate.
Just follow on Twitter. Just say follow on Twitter at pixelplayers_.
Just in case they got this far, but
yeah, that's why I always say, like every single time I translate stuff in Spanish that you made me translate, at the end I always say, and I guess that if you reach to this point in the video, you already understood what.
Okay, well, if you say it now, we'll leave it now, but also just copy it quickly and paste it in front of the podcast, just in case they don't, just in case. And we'll start the podcast with a little nice Spanish
Bueno, pues si os interesa todo lo que os acabo de contar en inglés, por favor síguenos en el @ de Twitter pixelplayers_es.
Lovely.
There you go. And I
Lovely.
think I even put like that sort of voice in, you know, like when they announce things in the elevator, you know, you're in hospital, like, I don't know, Dr. Smith, please come to floor
Dr.
5.
Smith.
Dr.
Oh, Smith. Yeah.
Smith, mate, Smith.
Yeah.
Common surname, innit?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, maybe firstly, should we? What do you want to do? Should we get into some Great British Service Station or Unfamiliar Footballer, or?
Oh yes, mate. Oh yes. You know, it's my favorite part.
I think it's everyone's favourite part, to be honest. Well, this week, for Great British Service Station or Unfamiliar Footballer, the name or place is called Fadderley.
Or could we have a spelling, please?
Now, I've sent you the word.
Fadderley.
Fadderley. I mean, Fadderley Town. Fadderley. I've got a Fadderley Town vibe going on in my head. You know, they reached the.
You know, I'm guessing first. Don't give me too much information, mate.
they get knocked out by like Havant and Waterlooville in the first round of the FA Cup. I know they're not necessarily a football team, but Fadderley Town petrol station. It's got a Mackey's on it. It's got a KFC. I can see it.
Fadderley. I mean, for me, it does sound more of a place name, to be honest. But I mean, I think I've been saying this for three service stations in a row, and I've failed the 3. So, well, this would have been the 3rd one. So I'm already failing it for myself beforehand. Great, Sento. You see how much I believe myself, huh? In this.
So we'll probably do the answer at the end.
Yes.
But obviously, hearing you two just discuss your initial thoughts is always good.
I can't see it being Michael Fadderley. I can't see a Patrick Fadderley.
Well,
I can't
Phil
see it
Fadderley.
being surname. A Phil Fadderley.
Phil Fadderley.
Phil Fadderley.
That sounds good, actually. Yeah.
And for those at home wondering maybe what the spelling is, which I probably should give when I give the name, is Faddileey. Fadderley.
Yes, I was waiting for that, actually.
But yes, we'll come back to that one at the end. So I'm sure you two are going to sit there scratching your heads. You can have no hair left and going to need a transplant like Antonio Conte by the end of it.
Or a
Lots at the end of it.
We never know.
But no, yeah, maybe we should get stuck in. So where do we start with Tottenham Chelsea?
I think we do, mate. It was the event. We had 2 reporters live in there on site. You two.
Yeah.
Tell us your experiences.
And we also got a like from Andrew, Cool Cat Andrew. What's his name? Andrew Wang.
Andrew Wang.
Yeah, we got a like from Andrew Wang today, posting a picture of the from the Tottenham game. But he seems to like it. So
Chelsea looked diabolical. I mean, I don't know what Chelsea offered in that game. The first half, I mean, let's just get this out of the way. Let's just bash this out of the park, George, shall we? The first half, Chelsea time wasting at 0-0 in the first half. What is going on?
Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Kepa time wasting in the first half. Then let's say, I mean,
really,
he has the ball, Sento. He has the ball by his feet, and he just stands there. 25, 30, maybe even a minute goes past before he moves. You know, he didn't want to kick it out. He wanted a Tottenham player to run towards him so he could pick it up. It's 0-0. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing
in the first half? Honestly,
maybe they were aiming for that. Maybe they were aiming for a 0-0.
I think they were. I think because Tottenham started with quite a high press, and maybe that was the game plan. Maybe the game plan was to break the game down, not let Tottenham counter. And that's how Chelsea would win the game. I didn't see a single clear-cut chance for Chelsea.
We had like a 1/2 chance, and that was it.
You watch the highlights, and it looks fairly even. But
being there,
highlights just show the best.
There wasn't one moment where I thought, "Oh, here we go." for Chelsea. There wasn't one moment.
There wasn't really for Tottenham either, to be fair. I mean, we got a
The
little
two
bit
chances Spurs had, they basically put them away. So
Yeah. But,
neither keeper really did anything except Kepa picked the ball out of the net twice.
But Kepa should have saved the skip shot. I mean, he got his fingers to it, but straight at him. It's just above him.
Forster came out and collected one ball in. I can't remember who played the ball in. I remember Mudryk played in a cross near the end. I thought Mudryk was a bit lively towards the end, but we run back through the game. I mean, João Felix spent too much time on the floor.
Emerson Royale
played really well.
Chicken Royale.
Yeah,
Chicken Royale, yeah.
Chicken Royale. Yeah.
That's going to stick with me forever.
You played,
and
I think Skip played well.
But for me, you're going to be Chicken Royale from now.
And
that's actually your fault, Hans.
I had a Chicken Royale on the way up to the game, Sento. I'll have you know.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyable.
That's why he performed that game.
That's why he performed. Yeah, but I mean, the front three of Kulusevski, Kane, and Son.
But it started with Richarlison, didn't it?
But even Richarlison, the front four don't really seem to be performing to what we wanted them to at the beginning of the season or what we were hoping they were. I was well excited at the beginning.
Or expecting, because I'm not a fan, and I was definitely expecting more.
Yeah, Richarlison hasn't scored a goal for 5 months.
Yeah, he hasn't scored a single Premier League goal yet, and he cost 60 million. So
sounds like Valencia didn't win a game for like 5 months.
But you can't. It's hard to blame him because he hasn't been given many minutes, and he was a player that was basically the main man at Everton, and he's maybe a player that needs minutes and needs a string of games. So.
And he's getting those chances now, but
I remember he came off on Sunday with his shirt over his face, so he didn't look best pleased.
No, but he didn't perform too well. But you go back to Chelsea and look at our opposition, and I think we were just the best of two terrible sides. Genuinely think that. I mean, we can be happy about beating Chelsea, but look at you sent it through a few hours ago, George. You sent the last two Chelsea defeats. What happened in their next game? Southampton lose to Grimsby.
Yeah. And Spurs lose to Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Do
you know what? Do you want another sickening stat? Do you want another one?
Yeah. Give us.
Do you want another one?
Slap us round the face.
Do you want another one? Okay, well.
Davina McCall.
Do you want another one? So that light on my face makes me look horrendous. Anyway, from November, Man United have scored, I believe, around 50 goals, 52 goals since November. 52 goals. 52 goals, okay? Chelsea, 6.
Oh, mate.
Oh, wow.
Mate,
since November, you said?
Yeah.
Oof.
6. Fred has the same amount of goals as Chelsea since November. I believe it was. I think that was a stat I saw as well, because he scored 6 of the 50, 52 or whatever. So Fred has scored the same amount of goals as Chelsea since November. It was a mad stat like that. Something like
Man
that.
Man United, they look unbelievable. I mean, they are in.
They look a bit of a team now, don't they?
They won a cup. They're in the quarterfinals of another cup. They're in the Premier League title race. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, they are.
They're not too far away. They could win Europa League too.
Well,
they look formidable.
This is a good season for them, nevertheless, because they were not being really good lately.
And Ten Hag has dealt with some serious pressure with the Ronaldo situation, the Glazers.
Yeah.
Do you remember at the start of the season when they were 4-0 down to Brentford?
Yeah.
And I thought top 4 was, gone. Pretty much. I thought, even though it was like the second or third game, I thought, lost to Brighton, 4-0 down to Brentford. To be honest,
I believe in my prediction, I didn't even put them in Conference League, mate.
Did anyone put Spurs? I'm going to have to look back at these predictions because I don't know if anyone put Spurs in top 4, but Spurs are looking like they could still make top 4. We're sat here saying,
Come on, mate. You're asking Tottenham fan. Did you not think I'd put us in top 4?
Yeah, you probably did. But how do you feel after that win then? The 2-0 win against Chelsea. Are you feeling like Spurs are going to push on the rest of the season? Maybe, are you going to get through against AC Milan in the Champions League?
I don't see us winning the Champions League with a performance like that. We're not posing a massive threat. But
Yeah.
in terms of Premier League, I do sort of expect us to get fourth.
And you've got Wolves away on
We
Saturday.
got Wolves away. Yeah, we got 2 or 3 p.m. games on a Saturday in a row.
And you like those, do you?
Well, my TV subscription doesn't. So we got 3. Jesus, we've actually got 5.
3 o'clock on a Saturdays in a row.
5 out of the next 6, 3 o'clock on Saturday,
No,
excluding.
There's one that you've got Everton on the 3rd of April at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. And then the next 2 are 3 p.m. again.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think Spurs didn't look great, and there's something going on at Spurs, isn't there? Do you think there's something going on behind the scenes? Do you think the players are struggling with the fact Conte has maybe not got his future sorted out?
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's about Conte's future so much. I just think maybe the Conte management is a bit stale at the moment. It's not working. and again, I'll come back to what I said last episode. Maybe that's to do with the World Cup.
Yeah.
The World Cup getting involved.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what it's done to certain players.
Or a bit of everything. Like, wasn't Spurs going to be sold to the club?
There's
a few rumours, but they're also building a go-kart track, aren't they? So
they are building a go-kart track. But
well, I mean, there's rumours about that. Then also Conte, like his future is not decided. So maybe he's not putting as much effort into the club because of that. Or even if it's decided and he's going to go this summer, maybe he's not putting that much effort because of that. And
if he goes,
players obviously see that. I don't know, maybe a combination of everything.
Number 1, you two, Sento, you first. Do you think Conte goes in the summer? His contract is up. Is he going to sign a new contract or go?
I think it's going to go. I don't think Conte's a fit for Spurs because I don't think he really wants to be there. For some reason. Like, that's the feeling that he gives me.
I mean, I think he goes, but I know, Conte will stay in Milan. He may not come back, but see how well Stellini actually does. He's not lost a game. He's only lost the last game under Sheffield United.
So you want to stick with him indefinitely? You don't want someone else to come in the summer if Conte goes?
See what he does. See what he does to the end of the league.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There's no other manager out there at the moment who I would jump on.
But what
this
about
summer,
maybe
things are going to move around a lot? Probably.
Yeah, there's a few words about Roberto De Zerbi, Thomas Frank. What about these sort of names?
Ancelotti is probably going to get replaced too. Who knows what's going to happen with Klopp?
Would you not take De Zerbi or Thomas Frank at Tottenham?
Well, you say De Zerbi. I mean, what's De Zerbi done? What has he done?
I mean, he played attractive football at Sassuolo and in Syria, and then he came over to the Premier League and he basically took Brighton to another level, you could say, couldn't he?
Nice. Sounds like Graham Potter.
Yeah, it does sound like Graham Potter.
I was thinking just that. I mean,
how's that going?
What about Thomas Frank?
Thomas Frank.
Attractive, young.
I just feel like I don't know if this is an age thing or whatever, but I feel like my perception of managers now is not what it once was. I don't know if the Ancelottis, the Sir Alex Fergusons, the Mourinhos, the Contes, the back in their day sort of serial winners are still around.
Yeah, it's because Spurs have gone through them all and not won anything still, though.
I feel like, because we've taken them second hand. I feel like we're moving into a new era of managers, and it's not been a smooth transition. Yeah. There has not been a single manager that has lasted as long as Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson and had the opportunity to win.
Yeah. Well, Arteta's been at Arsenal about 4 years now, hasn't he?
Yeah, but you even look at the likes of Burnley.
What company?
get rid of Mr. Burnley, Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they weren't happy
But
or whatever.
let's say you're on the board and you if you want to put an offer in for a Thomas Frank or a De Zerbi to pry them away from their clubs, you can. Or if you want to go and get maybe a Pochettino back or a Zidane or a Thomas Tuchel, who are you putting a word in for?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough, mate. It's tough. The one that jumps to me, I guess, would be Poch.
You want Poch back? You want to get?
I'm not saying. Don't you put words in my mouth. I'm saying if Poch came back, it may be a bit of a love affair, and as long as it's a long-term relationship and not just a round two, it could work out. We need
give him the keys to rebuild by selling Kane.
That's exactly. Come on, mate. We sold Gareth Bale. We sold Gareth Bale, and we're still sort of. Well, we've only just got rid of Lamella, who was the last of his purchase.
Well, I
it's
thought
tough to replace players, you know, mate. As you know,
I do know.
It's tough to buy players and expect them to fit in.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. What would you think if Spurs got hold of Thomas Frank and sold Kane for about 110 million, bought Ivan Toney for 70, and had another 50 to play around with, getting a creative midfielder? What are you saying?
No. You sound like a Chelsea chairman.
You know what Spurs should do? Should give a second opportunity to Steven Gerrard.
I think he deserves it.
A second opportunity? What do you mean?
Well, exactly that. Second opportunity. Just hire him. He'll do well.
We need to ride the wave. We need to. I don't know. We need to see what Conte wants to do.
Yeah.
I think you have to see what happens this summer, because I'm 100% sure there's going to be a lot of movement, like in coaches and a lot of teams.
Exactly right. I feel like I feel like there will be a lot of movement. Do Liverpool keep Klopp?
Well, maybe they go for a De Zerbi. Who knows?
I still think there's good coaches out there. Like, there's two really good Spanish coaches.
He's the what is everyone? That's that phrase that everyone keeps saying. He's that flavour of the month, isn't he?
Yeah, but you don't jump onto the bandwagon of flavour.
We've all seen what Chelsea have done.
As you've seen what Chelsea have done.
Well, talking about what Chelsea have done, what do we all think of Potter's situation then?
I think he's got it. I think he's got a lot to do. He's got a lot to do
with a lot of things. He's got a lot of players,
Unfortunately, I feel like it is not in his control, a lot of it.
No.
You really shouldn't have bought the amount of players you've bought, because he's coaching. What was it? He's coaching 30 players or something when a normal squad.
Yeah, 34, I think.
Yeah, and a normal squad, or how many?
25.
Well, to put it into
25
perspective,
max.
if you want to play an 11 versus 11 in training, you're still going to have 15 or 12 left over. So,
and those players that are left over aren't under 21s.
No, a lot of them are seasoned pros. Yeah,
seasoned professionals who want to play first team football.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
So on that basis, I think you've got to give Potter until. I mean, you two probably aren't as exposed to it, but Chelsea Twitter is on fire. It's on fire, as in it is toxic. About 88%, maybe even 90% want Potter out, and I'm in the 10% or whatever, because I think getting Potter out does nothing right now. Whoever comes in is going to face the same problems, which one of the biggest ones, like what Sam just said, is inflated squad, and I think you just got to give him the time. Even if these aren't his players that they've brought in, and they have just been brought in by the owners, you've got to give him time to, let them bleed back into the squad in the Premier League, because the likes of Mikhailo Mudryk haven't played since November. Enzo Fernandez can't even speak English yet, so I think you give him till the summer to let him clear out the players he doesn't want to, doesn't see in the project. They will bring in a couple more, but we really can't be going out and breaking the bank, for big players anymore. I think you can add a couple cheeky signings, I think, but no more. Maybe a Declan Rice is the last one I'd allow to be a big signing. And people are saying we definitely need a striker, which is obviously true because this is the most toothless Chelsea I've probably ever seen. But I don't know who you go and get. I mean, Nkunku coming in, but I don't know what. I mean, Ivan Toney. I'd actually love Ivan Toney, to be fair, but who knows what he cost.
Take it the other way.
There's rumours that Mason Mount might be off to Liverpool, which I think would be a massive mistake.
So who do you get rid of in your squad? Who do you get rid of in your squad?
I think Ziyech.
You got 4 goalkeepers.
This is the problem with Graham Potter as well. Ziyech was a wrong fax machine letter late on deadline day from going to PSG, and he's starting against Tottenham. So I just don't understand. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand. Like, he's a player that probably doesn't want to be there, and he's being given and Loftus-Cheek. I love Loftus-Cheek, but he's not good enough, and he's starting against Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of issues with Potter and his player selection. So players I get rid of, Loftus-Cheek, even though he'd probably want to stay and be a squad player, which I'm not against, happily for him to be a squad player. But Ziyech's unhappy, let him go. Aubameyang, let him go. Pulisic, let him go. Koulibaly, I think, let him go. Arisa Balaga, maybe, is time up.
Koulibaly, that's actually interesting one.
There's Havertz is a massive question mark. Do we want to let him go? I don't know if we know where he fits in yet. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he's scored a big goal for us in our history, but sometimes, it is little moments, isn't it, with some players, and it's not going to be a long fairy tale. So maybe we do have to.
I think you still have that faith that he's young and he's going to perform, which is basically the same faith you had at the beginning. Yeah. So let's be honest.
And has he progressed?
It's been. Yeah, that's the thing.
No,
has he progressed?
No,
that's the thing. I think that's why he has to go.
But I think he's been played out of position.
Who do you replace Thiago Silva with?
Thiago Silva was injured, by the way. Did you see that? He went off on Sunday. He's out till end of April now.
End of April. That's a long time.
Yeah. And Chile isn't even registered to play in the Champions League for us. So we're playing now with Fofana and Koulibaly at the back. Which Fofana, I just want to add, I think Fofana actually looked quite good when he came on Sunday. He was biting into challenges. He looked up for it. Fair play.
What did you say about Cucurella? Did you say go out?
No, not go out. He just needs time, I think, to chill out.
Give him a loan spell, maybe.
I don't know, not a loan spell, but I just think Potter needs the summer and let's come back. This season's a write-off, which is sad to say. We've got to beat Dortmund next week. And if we don't beat Dortmund, as I just said, the season is for sure a write-off. And, it's the start of March, so that is depressing. And I just want to get to the summer and, start next season, which is what United fans were saying last season. I remember the United fans saying, let's just get to the summer and whatever, which I found, to be negative. But I'm now the one saying it, so there you go. Chelsea are in mud.
Do you want me to depress you a little bit?
Go on.
If you lose to Dortmund, you're not winning the Champions League this year.
We're not in the Champions League next year.
You're not in the Champions League next year. You've got a long time till you enjoy Champions League football again.
Well, I think it might actually help us in the sense that there are no excuses next season. For example, if we are playing once a week, there are no excuses to not see consistent improvement. So if we don't see consistent improvement playing once a week, it's game over for Potter. So
is Chelsea out of the FA Cup too?
Yeah, as are Spurs, who lost last night to Sheffield United 1-0.
We're talking about Chelsea at the moment, mate.
Yeah, no, I think if we don't beat, we've got Leeds United on Saturday, 3 p.m. I'll be watching it with bated breath. I'm sure we've all been there. Sento most recently as well, and maybe Sam not as long ago as maybe I would think. But I watch Chelsea now, and I'm actually nervous. As soon as that whistle goes and the kickoff has started, I'm nervous. I'm nervous to see how we play. I'm nervous to see if we go 1-0 down because, at the moment it's looking like we can't score for love and the money. So if you can see,
to the club, mate.
Game over.
Welcome to the club.
We'll get onto your merry lot in a bit, but maybe that concludes the Chelsea Tottenham bit. I mean, Tottenham have got Everton. Have they got on the weekend? Tottenham have got Everton away. Sean Dyche.
We got Wolves.
Wolves, sorry, yes.
Happy days. Should be comfortable.
It should be, shouldn't it? Lopetegui though.
Wolves.
mean, Wolves, they have a decent squad. I
Ruben
think.
Neves.
Yes, I think
Not
I
very,
really
very
do.
high.
I think
Diego
Anguedes
Costa.
was, at least when he was in Valencia, was
Podence.
amazing.
Yeah, they always used to scare me, but I think this season they're a bit what's the word? A bit limp.
Let's clip that when it's like 3-0 Wolves on Saturday. Right.
I mean, didn't Wolves just beat Liverpool now? 2-0? Sorry, or it was the other way around. No, Liverpool.
They lost.
Yeah,
Liverpool beat them 2-0.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that's the next point. Good. Another good segue from Sento there. Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 0. Boring. Liverpool tarnishes their unbeaten away record against Crystal Palace because they've won all of their last 7 against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Just as it seemed that they were going to sink back into that, Liverpool made a comeback against Wolves the other day. So winning the game delayed by 2-0. I can't make sense of this.
What do you mean? Winning the delayed game. The game was delayed. Winning the delayed game by 2-0. What's the problem with that?
How was it delayed?
Just because it was the 7th week. It was a delayed game. It was not a normal week.
Oh, it
was
is a game in
game.
hand. Yeah, it's a game in hand.
Oh,
Yeah, game in hand.
Okay, yeah. So Liverpool had their
sorry.
game in hand on Wednesday, the same day as Arsenal did against Everton.
Football technicalities that the Spaniards not, in common with. I'm sorry, mate.
Spanish complicated.
Not the script this time around. That's the reason.
Liverpool did dispatch of Wolves 2-0, and Arsenal did absolutely pump Everton 4-0. So the midweek games, plenty of goals, but for me, didn't really fancy seeing Liverpool and Arsenal both picking up 3 points. But there you go.
No bueno.
No, don't enjoy it. I checked. I checked the score for Arsenal. They were 2-0 up within, the first half. I thought, fuck this. Do you know what I mean? At one point I was thinking it's happening. They're winning the league. Suck it up. But when you do consult, if you get to the end of this podcast, you will hear me break down Arsenal's fixture list. When you do consult the fixture list, it's not all concluded with Arsenal. So although they did beat Everton 4-0, a few tough fixtures lay in wait. Should we say?
The Chelsea fan still has some hope for enjoyment this season.
Oh, if they slip up and give it to City, although City will break the record and win 3 in a row, I think the fact that Arsenal would have slipped up and got so close will just supersede any, jealousy or whatever regret of Man City breaking a record. I think Arsenal slipping up towards the end would just be a movie, wouldn't it?
You can hope, Chief.
Yeah, but Arsenal also beat Leicester 1-0 on the weekend. And now I don't know about you, Sam, but I thought that was a bit of a champions result.
A champions result.
Didn't play that well. Got the result, 3 points.
Leicester.
Bit of a bogey ground for Arsenal as well.
A bit of a bogey ground in previous years. This year Leicester aren't up to what they once were. Wow. They were against Spurs. But yeah, they get the win against Arsenal, get the win against Leicester. Happy days.
Yeah. Zinchenko captained them. They let Zinchenko captain them to sort of commemorate 1 year, which is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, the title race continues as Man City followed that up on the same evening by beating Bournemouth 4-1. We didn't really expect anything else, but I did have a little shade of doubt that this would just be typical for Man City to slip up now. And for this Saturday to get worse. Arsenal fans gloating. Oh.
Is this the comeback of Arsenal back to the big picture after 19 years?
Mate, I can't even imagine thinking about our old housemate Sento, who is quite a big Arsenal fan. I can't even imagine.
No.
Okay, mate.
He'd be happy, mate.
Yeah, you would be happy. I'm very confused that Sento's developed a sort of likeness for Arsenal this season. It's out of nowhere.
I don't know why, but I'm actually starting to appreciate it.
Let's distract him. How's Valencia doing?
Yeah, talk to us about Valencia.
Yay, Valencia has finally won a game, mate. We finally won a game against Real Sociedad. Actually, a pretty tough team. So I'm pretty happy, and they actually showed a very similar image to the previous game against Getafe that we actually lost. But you could already appreciate how the team changed under Baraja and Marchena, and in the Real Sociedad you could appreciate it even more. Like, we played well. It was solid defending. What Valencia usually was, like solid defending. Counterattacks, fast counterattacks.
Yeah.
And if we have the ball, like moving around, looking for chances, usually from the wings with cross balls and stuff like that. Basically, back to our roots.
You looked exciting. You
Yes.
looked like you were playing football with flair.
Yeah. Oh, you actually tune in for.
I tuned in
game,
for the last 20 minutes or so, and it looked. It looked like Valencia were enjoying playing football to an extent.
Yes, well, that's how Valencia used to be. That's the style of Valencia, and it makes sense even more with Baraja. I mean, Valencia legend, been pretty much his entire career with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
So who have you got next? You got Barcelona next.
Yeah, so I'm not that happy about that.
You're not. Don't worry. We'll be supporting Barcelona since you be supporting Arsenal.
But I'm optimistic.
You know what? Sento, that's the equivalent. That is the equivalent.
You think so?
If me and Sam start, getting our Messi shirts out and kissing the old back.
Okay. I'll quit Arsenal then.
Easy.
Full up.
You know what? You can allow that. They're quite a likable club.
I like them actually, and that's not a lie. I do like football.
He'll allow it because they've only finished above them this year, or they're only going to finish above them this year. Next year, Sento, when they're still above them, he'll make you change the mind.
Yeah. Oh, please no, mate. I want to still be your friend. I'll support them in secret. I won't say anything.
To like Millwall or something, or Charlton.
Yeah.
Not Sheffield United.
But yeah, well, I mean, quite optimistic because of what I said, and also because Barcelona lost this week's game against Almeria, one of the actually relegation teams right now. Well, it's not a relegation, but it's like 1 point away relegation. So yeah, I'm pretty happy, mate. Pretty happy.
Cracking,
I'm
mate.
looking optimistic to that. It's in the Camp Nou, though. Maybe if it was in Mestalla.
In a way, though, that if Valencia can sort of hold on, keep it 0-0 for 40 minutes or so, the new camp crowd will start to get frustrated, probably. So
that's true. Even more after losing against Almeria and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite optimistic. Optimistic.
Yeah, and they also got knocked out of Europa League by Man United last week, didn't they?
They got and that's. Well, we had a good week, and Valencia had a terrible week because they lost against Almeria 1-0. Bilan today, I think, was the one who scored in the first half too. So they couldn't turn around in the entire team in the entire game. Almeria was just defending really well. 47 cross balls by Barcelona into Almeria's area. And there was only one shot on target in the entire game for Barcelona. So it was basically a massive defending by Almeria and scoring a goal in a counterattack. I mean, fair play. Why not? Yeah. And the other really interesting game this week actually was the Real Madrid Atletico Madrid 1-1 Madrid's derby. Was a stalemate, and it was a stalemate even though Atletico Madrid was one man down since the last minute or so of the first half.
Did they?
Yeah.
Did they just hold their fortress?
Probably. They probably went back to a typical Simeone back line of 8, something of the sort.
He's on the move in the summer, right? Simeone.
I mean, it's not definite. But I do think so. It does feel like that, though. It does feel like...
Real Madrid, 61% possession, 18 attempts on goal.
Yeah.
Against 7.
I didn't watch that one.
Sento, did you say that Carlo Ancelotti will be leaving Madrid?
I think so. Yeah, there's actually there is a lot of rumors about that one. Carlo Ancelotti.
Who do you think they're going to go after?
Real Madrid. I don't know.
Tuchel? Thomas Tuchel? Mikel Arteta?
Nah, not Tuchel. No, Arteta. No, Arteta.
What if Arteta goes and wins the league?
I don't know. Actually, I don't know who could go. Klopp? Maybe. I think Klopp could be a good fit.
Klopp could be a good fit. That'd be an interesting one.
Yeah,
I think Arteta's going to end up at Barcelona one day.
could be actually.
Yeah.
I think there's more probabilities of him ending in Barcelona than Real Madrid.
I would take Simeone at Tottenham.
He's worse. He plays worse football than Mourinho, though.
I know he does, but it works.
I know it works. No, man. I'm telling you.
He could shape Tottenham's defence. He could shape Tottenham's defence.
Yeah, but then it's the reason João Felix left, though, isn't it? Because he didn't like the way he played.
Yeah, but João Felix is João Felix.
I think that João Felix is a twat.
Man, as an away team, I can tell you, I mean, it's boring every single Atletico Madrid game. I've watched some Atletico Madrid games that were not against Valencia and were fucking boring. And I've watched Atletico Madrid games of Valencia playing against them, and it's fucking boring. But it's just a very boring play style. I don't even want to think how fans are supporting that thing.
Because they win.
Just boring. And actually, no, there's actually a lot of people that doesn't like Simeone's style, although they do agree that it does work. But it's not enjoyable, trust me. It's not enjoyable.
Nor's watching.
Would you rather have but would you rather have maybe Spurs winning titles and not enjoying the entire process?
Fucking hell, mate. We haven't won one for a long time. Don't rub it in.
Okay.
I mean, at the moment, I would say Tottenham are playing like that anyway. We're trying to play on the counter attack, and we've got no counter attack threat. So, at the moment, I think I'm probably clutching at Simeone because we're all playing depressing football at the moment anyway.
I think Luis Enrique makes more sense in a Spurs team. If you want to start,
yeah, you know what? Look, Lopetegui would have been a good shout. We said this last week, I think, but Lopetegui would have been.
And you know what? It would be a really good shout, in my opinion. Marcelino.
Yeah.
The ex-Valencia one. The one that was getting us into Champions, won the King's Cup for us. Later on, he went to Bilbao. He won another King's Cup with Bilbao and the Super Cup too.
Well, yeah, sounds like a shout.
Year, yeah, you know, the year after for me, is a very underrated coach.
Yeah.
He's definitely not the likes of Pep Guardiola.
So,
it's really good coach.
On La Liga though,
okay.
Have we got the Copa del Rey semi-final El Clasico?
Have we? I have not checked it, mate.
In 15 minutes.
Fucking hell. You know, my head is not really put into Copa del Rey because.
And the winner will have Osasuna in the final.
Osasuna?
Fuck me.
Wow.
Oh, well, I've not followed that.
Oh, there's sorry. No. There's two legs. There's two legs. Of course, there's
two legs. There's two legs. Yeah.
2 legs in a semi-final.
Sento battering away on his keyboard.
I mean, I did see. No, yeah, because I did see the Osasuna Athletic one, but I really didn't realize it was a classical semi-final.
That sounds hot. That's hot property.
Yeah, it does. It is.
Semi-final, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Yes, please. Let's have a bit.
Well, this weekend,
you're gonna bet.
all the games are postponed. What's going on this weekend in the Liga Centre? Is it Copa del Rey weekend?
It is Copa del Rey week, not weekend.
During the weekend, so there's no La Liga games this weekend.
Yeah, there is. Valencia plays La Liga this weekend.
Is it?
Against Barcelona. Yeah, Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. I'm pretty sure.
So Barcelona are playing today and Sunday.
Yeah. Quite a tight schedule, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Sunday.
Yeah.
5th. Yeah.
Well, I can't believe that. That's a very fast turnaround, isn't it? Well, I look forward to that one. I look forward to Barcelona, Valencia, and maybe even tuning into a little bit of this Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid.
I really hope Real Madrid batters them and we go to Camp Nou completely demoralized. Later on, it can happen, whatever. I hate both of them.
Got Atletico Madrid. Is it Atletico Barcelona or is it?
Atletico Barcelona. What?
Who's it in the Copa
What do you
del
mean?
Rey?
No, it's Real Madrid
Real
Barcelona.
Madrid, Barcelona.
Yeah, Classico.
All right. Classico.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, next topic. Kylian Mbappe and his car collection.
Oh, I've not heard of this.
You've not heard of that?
Let's have a go. Let's have
Have
a
you
listen.
never? Have you ever followed Mbappe through the social media?
No, I actually haven't.
He always gets off very nice cars. Obviously, it's Mbappe.
But
I mean,
he's
although what?
he is quite involved on social media, isn't he?
He is quite involved.
Quite active, yeah.
Yeah, he always appears like coming out of the car, typical before training or something of the sort.
Well, just quickly to maybe inform Sam, Mbappe's car collection consists of a Ferrari 488 Pista, a Volkswagen Tiguan, a Volkswagen Touareg, which I'm sure are probably brand deals.
The 488 Pista is the new one, mate.
Yeah, the Volkswagen Multivan, again, probably a brand deal. Mercedes-Benz V-Class, so a really, classy sort of cruiser. You can sit in the back and play an Xbox, probably. An Audi, a BMW, and a Range Rover. But he does not have a driving license.
Interesting.
Uh,
Hasn't passed his driving test yet.
And in an interview, he said that he really doesn't see the problem, as he's always had a private driver and all that, so he doesn't feel like there's any problems with mobility or anything like that. But I don't know. For me, it's sad, isn't it? It's sad having such good cars and not being able to drive it, not being able to feel how it's actually to drive one of them beasts.
He probably does drive them. He just drives them around his estate. I mean, look how much he's getting paid. He's probably got.
It's probably a way to employ his brother as well, like pimp his brother out with $100,000 a month just for chauffeuring him around.
He's got acres and acres and acres, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely does that.
I mean, his pay deal is just ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Where do you go from there?
And he wants to leave, apparently.
Yeah.
This summer, they're saying that PSG is actually going to allow him to leave. Obviously not free, but.
So do you think Real Madrid are queuing up like a £200 million offer or something? 200 million.
A club know it, and I think the stars are aligning for this.
What?
Man United.
Mbappe to Man United. What, the Qataris going to come in and
the Qataris?
They have Anthony, mate. They don't need it. They have
Anthony. Sit down, mate. Sit down.
The
Typical Spaniard. See someone do a little roulette and thinks he's the next best thing since sliced bread.
I like Beyblades,
Beyblade, yeah. Anthony Beyblade.
Yes. New name. You're welcome, Anthony.
Well, moving on from Mbappe's lack of a driving license and his car collection, Sento, do you want to talk about Valencia as they're in process to be declared an asset of cultural interest?
That's actually massive. Yes. That's actually massive. Less than a week ago, like 5 days or so ago, this Libertad platform that is making all these protests against Merita and Peter Lim, plus also like the local administrations, are in process of declare Valencia an asset of culture and interest, which basically that's like some sort of the platform did it as some sort of safeguard against Peter Lim, because if they actually declared an asset of cultural interest, that would mean that if Peter Lim basically fucks up hard, the local government can actually expropriate Peter Lim's shares, the club, from him.
Yeah. So they're basically taking it away from being a privatized company, and they're saying that it's a part of the community.
Yes, but they might actually later on, because it is a private entity, and Peter Lim is not the only one that has shares. I myself have Valencia shares, for example. I don't think they can make it public because of that, but maybe they will sell it on auction, like shares and stuff like that, for very small prices. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what will actually happen, but
Can
at
Peter
least
Lim
it's
fight back?
yeah. At least we can buy it back. It's like it's a safety measure. We basically making sure Peter Lim cannot make Valencia disappear, which is good.
No, but could Peter Lim not buy the shares on auction?
I don't think so, mate. He just got expropriated. Wouldn't make sense, innit? Like, oh yeah, you're allowed to rebuy the same thing we just took from you.
Well, moving on from Valencia becoming a cultural asset of cultural interest, Sampdoria, rock bottom of Syria. I believe they're 8 points adrift from safety. Reports exploded this week saying that the owner had woken up to threatening messages as well as a cardboard box. But what was inside the cardboard box was a severed pig's head. The message read, "The next head will be yours."
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
The Italians, mate. The Italians, the mafia.
There's also
Conte has it easy.
Envelopes with bullets in have also been sent.
Yes, yeah, that was a couple months ago, innit? Something of the sort.
And the owner is looking to sell pronto. Genoa.
That's what Valencia fans should do.
That's Romeo and Juliet, isn't it?
No, that's Verona.
Oh, yeah, but is it not Verona versus Genoa?
I'm not sure. I can't possibly comment on that.
What do you guys think about that, though?
That's shocking.
That's ridiculous.
Acceptable, though?
No,
acceptable, he says.
That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it is. It is actually. I don't know, but I like Italian style, to be honest.
I think throwing a few eggs up there. Yeah, they are. But throwing a few eggs up into the box. I'm not sure. Is that a little more light-hearted than the pig's head? Maybe.
Maybe the eggs and the pig. You can make some sort of tortilla or something with it.
But yeah, no, that's shocking news. We'd hate to see what's going to happen if Sampdoria are finally relegated.
There's actually, when this news came out, there was a lot of Valencia fans that were actually asking for this. I mean,
this. I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
Or something similar. Yeah. So I don't think. I mean, no.
The next feature has been kindly prepared for by Sento. Bizarre Football Sento.
Bizarre Football. I love this. I love this story, mate.
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't know if you guys had a pick to it, but I
haven't really. But are you wanting me to read this out, or do you want to read this out?
Oh yes, I want you to read this out with your sexy radio
voice. Okay.
Listen to him.
Right.
Listen to him. Right, so keep your hands up. I need to see your hands.
Hands up. Well, strap yourselves in. Bizarre Football. Bizarre Football for episode 18 this week is the footballer who didn't play a single game in 20 years. Carlos Kaiser Raposo was born in Brazil in 1963. As the son of a soccer player, he knew that this was the best life he could possibly aspire towards. But a small problem stood between him and sporting glory. He was bad. Very, very bad. Although what he lacked in terms of ball handling, he made up for in his charm. He made friends with other famous players like Romario and asked them to try and sign him for his team. When he signed a contract, Kaiser, nicknamed because of his resemblance to Franz Beckenbauer, disguised his incompetence by bribing another player to kick him during his first practice session so he could fake an injury. If that didn't work, he just made his grandmother die again so he'd be too grief-stricken to play. It sounds too bizarre to be true, but Kaiser tried really hard to convince the world that he was the greatest footballer that anyone had ever seen play. He spent his spare time leaking false stories to reporters about his career, and he even carried around an old VHS tape of someone who looks a bit like him scoring incredible goals. He also bought himself a toy mobile phone. It was the 80s, so they all look fake. And pretended to hold long negotiations in foreign languages to raise the price of himself. Until one time, he was supposedly taking a call from an English team and his coach told him that he spoke the language, catching him red-handed. That didn't even deter him, though. Kaiser even got to play in teams from Mexico and France, and in the end, they almost killed him. Over time, his reputation earned him a position with Bangu, a major Brazilian team owned by an unscrupulous mobster. Knowing that things would end very badly for him if they saw him play, he opted for the least painful option, getting beaten up by opposing fans. Kaiser pretended that he had heard someone call his father a homophobic slur, starting a fight that ended up being disciplined. And what is most impressive, he told such a sad story to the mobster that he got a salary raise in the process. A year later, Kaiser retired, honouring his legend by never having lost a game, or won one, or even played one. What a story!
Well, I love it. I love it.
Fantastic
I don't
story.
know. I fell in love with this story, mate. And it's a real story, you know. I didn't make this up. It's actually a real story.
I'm thoroughly
I'm gonna
impressed.
start. Yeah. What did you guys think, though? Shall I start putting these little stories?
Yeah, I really enjoyed
here and there?
reading that out as well. I enjoyed reading that out, I must say.
What a man, though, this Kaiser guy, huh? Carlos.
Must have been a right charmer.
He's my new legend, mate. 20 years of football, living like a footballer, not having played a single game. Even got a salary rise by the end.
Yeah, amazing. He just he's stolen a living, basically.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, mate.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Respect.
How did he get away with that, though? Like 20 years, though.
Just being a proper nice guy, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, to conclude, we will be giving you the answer to British service station or unfamiliar football. So if we just revisit the name, we rewind a little bit. The name was Fadley.
Oh, yes.
We went through a few names such as Phil Fadley, Mark Fadley. But
I believe it's my turn again.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
I lost, didn't I?
Yeah,
2-0.
well, and you've lost again, yeah, 2-0.
Okay.
So feel free to
I hope I can turn this around, mate. 3-0 is gonna be a big blow.
I've strongly voiced my opinion.
I know, and I also believe so. So I'm sorry, mate. I need a point. I'm probably gonna lose this again, but I'm gonna say service station. Yes.
What would you?
The question was, Sento, was I bluffing to convince you that it was a service station when in reality I think it's a footballer?
That convinced me, but to be honest, from the beginning it did sound more of a place name to me. Fiddly.
I would have gone the same. I would have gone Fadley Town. Sounds right.
It does, right?
Fadley Town, Fadley Village.
Well, I can confirm that this week it was a town, and it was a small service station which featured a pub, and probably just a pub. It's probably not even a service station, but I spotted a small place on the map with some services.
What type of services, mate?
And if you are looking for Fadley and a little drop through and maybe a pint or a meal at the Thatch Inn, you'll find it on the A534 on Wrexham Road.
And from now on, this section is going to be called British Service Inn or pub. Or football.
Closest city is?
Stoke-on-Trent or Wrexham.
Oh.
Interesting.
Stoke-on-Trent.
So if you fancy a day out, off you pop. Lovely pub. Thatch Inn.
Sounds good, mate.
So if Ryan Reynolds ever wants to go from Wrexham to Stoke-on-Trent, he'll be passing through Fadley.
Yeah. He will. Yeah. You're right. Anyway, I think that concludes the episode.
Yeah. That was great. Something different.
Yeah.
Lovely little story, mate.
More to come next week. Come on, City. Can they finally win? Fucking.
And I finally won a point, mate. Yes, 2-1. I'm not a Chelsea anymore.
I'm honestly praying for 3 points. I just want to see some goals. Please. A good performance would be an absolute treat.
I think the other night we were having this little chat, right? Before we conclude. Valencia was in a very similar position the year we won the King's Cup. Like, we were just not scoring, mate, at all. We weren't losing games either. We were mostly throwing them. But suddenly one moment it clicked. We were in like 12th position, something like that too, and we reached 4th into champions. So who knows? Could be the same for Chelsea. You definitely have the players. I mean, to score to get the goals. You definitely have it.
To go on a winning streak now would be an unbelievable achievement. You know, to go on like a 10-game winning streak now. Unbelievable.
Mate, he is not Ten Hag.
Do you know what? Ten Hag was available in the summer. Do you not wish that Spurs kind of cut losses with Conte in the summer and pipped in with Ten Hag?
I'd love Ten Hag.
Yeah.
I'd love him.
Would you rather have Arteta or Ten Hag? Sento. Let's ask Sento this.
Yeah, that's not a question for me, mate. We know the answer.
I mean, I think I like more Ten Hag as a coach, to be honest.
Okay. Don't have much love for old Mikel Bendy.
I mean, yeah, I like him too, but I think I like more Ten Hag style. Don't know. I haven't followed Arteta that much, or Arsenal, to be honest. But I did watch a little when Ten Hag was back in Holland. So,
Arteta was born in San Sebastian.
Yeah, I know he was from Basque country because of his name. Mikel Arteta is so Basque.
Yeah.
So Basque, yeah.
What, the first name?
I didn't know it was San Sebastian. Oh, Mikel is a Basque and Arteta too. Yeah. Unai Emery, the same. I hear the name. I know he's from up north.
What about Cesar Azpilicueta? Do you know he's from up north?
Azpilicueta, yes, probably.
Aretha Balaga? Do you know he's from up north?
Oh, yes. Kepa Arrizabalaga. Arrizabalaga is so northern. Yes.
Listen.
What's the southern name then?
A southern name?
Lopez or...
It's more of the Gomez, Lopez, and that sort of style. But I mean, that's very Spain in general, though. It's just the Basque country. The Basque country has very unique
strange
names and surnames. Yeah, I like them. I actually, most of the Spanish names I like are Basque.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll see you all next week. Thank you very much for listening. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. All the links down below. Thank you very much.
Cheers, lads.
My mind.
But I know I was just looking at Arsenal's run-in on. And we've just said they should win the next 4 games, and then they've got Liverpool away, and you'd like to think that Liverpool could give them a game there, because Liverpool are going to be fighting for top 4. So I'm hoping that Liverpool can do some damage there. West Ham, I hope that they're up for it. That's a London derby the weekend after. So West Ham are fighting for survival, maybe. That could be a big one. So hopefully Arsenal can slip up there. Southampton on the Friday night. Now, Southampton could be fighting for survival. And you can always underestimate a team that are fighting for survival. So maybe Southampton get a point there or something. And then on the weekend after that, Arsenal will be... is it the Man City game after that? It might be the Man City game. Yeah, I think we're looking at the Man City game after that. So that's a big one. There you go. Title decided, maybe, basically, at the Etihad. Man City, and then Arsenal are looking at playing Newcastle away. Now, Newcastle away is a tough game. We all know what happened last season with Arsenal Newcastle, 2-0. And then after that, they've got Brighton. And Brighton, again, good team. Could always beat anyone on their day. So hopefully Brighton can do some damage there. And then you've got you've got Nottingham Forest away. Now, let's just say Arsenal get 3 points there. And then on the final day of the season, Wolves at home. Do you know what? I think there's a lot of scope for Arsenal to slip up. I'll be over in a minute, peeps. He's got a dairy dunker. We've got 4,631 people tuning in right now. Sento like a dairy dunker.
Thank you.
Here you go. Got one for you. Do you want this one?
Oh, no.
He's already had that one, mate.
Yeah, twice, I think, innit?
Jesus, mate. Not like that. Not on record, mate. That's on record.
Ray's going to come in a minute. What's he talking about? He told such a sad story to the mobster that he got a salary raise in the process. A year later, Kaiser retired, honouring his legend by never having lost a game, or won one, or even played one? To conclude, the answer is the British service station or unfamiliar footballer. Okay, counts like that.
Firstly.
Get it.
What a conclusion! I was not expecting that.
To conclude, I thought you were going to give some reflection of that. To conclude, but he just kept reading me.
I like Ron Burgundy. That's my Ron Burgundy moment.
Yeah.
Yes,
Got to read
literally.
whatever's on the teleprompter. I've got to read it.
Unbelievable.
Man, this is also going to the end.